At a recent Association of the U.S. Army exhibition, Lockheed Martin unveiled a new aircraft that immediately captured the defense world's attention: the S-70UAS U-Hawk. Now, the Black Hawk platform has seen countless variants over the years, but this one is different. It's generating far more buzz than its predecessors for one simple reason: it's designed to be completely unmanned. So what exactly is new about the U-Hawk, and how does it stack up against other top-tier unmanned helicopters? Let's take a closer look. The primary developer here is Sikorsky, a Lockheed Martin company. They've been working with the U.S. Army on an unmanned Black Hawk program since 2022. So the debut of the U-Hawk in 2025 follows a logical development timeline. Looking at the prototype, the most obvious change is in the cockpit, or what's left of it. The pilot seats, flight controls, life support systems, and even the observation windows are all gone. In their place are two core AI systems: a cockpit automation system developed by DARPA and Sikorsky's own Matrix autonomous flight system. Together, these give the helicopter fully autonomous flight capability. An operator can control the U-Hawk from thousands of miles away using just a tablet, or they can allow it to generate its own flight plans. But beyond the autonomous function, how different is this from a traditional Black Hawk? To answer that, we need to dig into the performance specs. First, let's talk about its cargo capacity. The U-Hawk is based on the S-70C model, but it's been heavily modified. The focus has shifted from just transporting troops to becoming a true heavy-lift cargo platform. Sikorsky essentially chopped off the nose and replaced it with a clamshell-style door that opens to the sides, complete with a loading ramp. This redesign gives it the ability to carry large, palletized cargo. And the results are impressive. The cargo bay is 7 to 8 meters longer, expanding the internal volume by 25%. The internal payload capacity is a staggering 3,100 kilograms, or about 6,800 pounds. Add an external sling load capacity of over 4,000 kilograms, or 9,000 pounds, and the U-Hawk's total payload approaches that of a much larger class of transport helicopter. It can easily carry standard cargo pallets or even a light assault vehicle. Next is flight performance. Despite the massive redesign, the U model retains the Black Hawk's excellent flight characteristics. Reports indicate a top speed of 290 kilometers per hour, or 180 miles per hour, an operational range of over 2,900 kilometers, that's 1,800 miles, and an endurance of 14 hours. In practical terms, this gives the U-Hawk the ability to self-deploy over long distances, even across vast areas like the Pacific. Sikorsky also noted that the design retains the option for internal auxiliary fuel tanks, which would extend its range even further. Finally, there's its firepower. The promotional video shows a system called an effector launcher. This is essentially a specialized rack inside the cargo bay that can hold dozens of missiles, covering a range of U.S. short and medium-range strike munitions. Sikorsky also emphasized that this system can launch small drones of various types, even those made by other companies. Beyond that, the U-Hawk can carry a standard HIMARS rocket pod or 2 NSM anti-ship missiles. The design of the U-Hawk clearly transcends the traditional role of an assault helicopter. It's a hybrid, blending significant strike capability with the capacity of a long-range transport aircraft. And with its unmanned systems, its survivability on the battlefield is inherently greater because it fundamentally removes the risk to human pilots. Now, this isn't just a Sikorsky project. The U.S. military is deeply involved. Last October, Sikorsky mentioned receiving significant help from DARPA on an experimental program. We now know that program was the U-Hawk. So why is the Pentagon so invested in this? The real answer lies in the military's urgent need for unmanned logistical and combat systems, and this is driven by 3 key factors. First is the demand for unmanned cargo lift. You may have heard reports about the Windrunner, a massive cargo plane in development designed to carry up to 12 Apache helicopters without disassembly. While not unmanned, it shows the Pentagon's focus on logistics. The U-Hawk fits right into this by maximizing cargo space. By removing the cockpit, armor, and pilot systems, the weight and cost are dramatically reduced, allowing for more flexible and efficient transport missions, like delivering troops or unmanned ground vehicles directly into a hot zone while the rotors are still spinning. The second factor is personnel. This ties into the U.S. military's all-domain operations concept, which is about integrating land, sea, air, space, and cyber forces to strike targets anywhere in the world. Unmanned systems are critical for this. The U-Hawk, with its blend of transport and strike capabilities, is perfect for resupplying and supporting troops in high-risk areas. It also helps solve the chronic pilot shortage. It's often said that it's easier to build planes than to train pilots. A single U-Hawk could potentially do the work of 2 or 3 manned Blackhawks, freeing up pilots for other critical missions. The third area is special operations. The promo video shows the U-Hawk infiltrating an area at night, flying just above the treetops. It drops off troops, enters an airborne loiter mode, and can automatically return within 6 minutes to extract them with a winch from a hover at 30 meters. The fact that this entire mission can be done via remote control ensures a high degree of precision and efficiency. Perhaps one of the most compelling aspects is the speed of production. According to Sikorsky, they don't need to build entirely new airframes. They can convert an existing Black Hawk into a U model in just 10 months. This rapid conversion capability has drawn significant interest from not just the Army, but the Navy as well, who are looking at deploying it on carriers and amphibious assault ships. The Pentagon's plan is for the U-Hawk to evolve, with a long service life expected into the 2070s. Future versions are planned to be optionally manned, meaning they could fly with or without a pilot. What the final form will look like remains to be seen. But that brings up a final question. Where does the U-Hawk rank among other top unmanned helicopters? The Black Hawk is already one of the world's premier helicopters, and the U model inherits that pedigree while adding significant upgrades. To get a sense of its standing, let's compare it to the U.S. Navy's current primary unmanned helicopter, the MQ-8C Fire Scout. The MQ-8C is a capable aircraft used for reconnaissance, minesweeping, and anti-submarine warfare. But in terms of raw performance, it's not in the same league as the U-Hawk. The Fire Scout's internal payload is just 272 kilograms, about 600 pounds, and its max sling load is 1,200 kilograms. That's dwarfed by the U-Hawk's capabilities. The MQ-8C's range is also limited to about 276 kilometers, or 172 miles, again far short of the U-Hawk. Recognizing these limitations, the Navy reportedly plans to begin phasing out the MQ-8C starting in 2026. And if we look abroad, the gap is even wider. Russia's first certified unmanned helicopter, the BVS VT-440, has a payload of just 100 kilograms and a range of 600 kilometers. It's completely outclassed. Overall, the U-Hawk sits at the very top tier of unmanned helicopters worldwide, but the Pentagon's vision for it seems to go beyond just being a king of unmanned helicopters. It's likely a key component of a new low-altitude Wolfpack concept. It's important to remember that what we've seen so far is a prototype. Sikorsky has stated that the first flight is planned for 2026, and the data from that will be crucial for further refinement. There are still unanswered questions about its vulnerability to electronic warfare and the specifics of how its autonomous systems perceive the environment. So while we'll have to wait a bit longer to see its true capabilities, the U-Hawk's debut signals a massive leap forward in unmanned aviation and offers a clear glimpse into the future of the battlefield.